That is so funny, Dom.
Nah, I'm not going to piss against that cab. This is where I'm getting interviewed.
Yeah.
In the house, you be GSBS.
In the back of the London Ultra Cab this week on the All City Taxi Talks show, we have from the Subway Saints crew, the United Artists crew, and the Urban Gangsters crew, the one and the only Don in the back of the cab.
Oh, this is an honour, Steve. This has been too long coming. It's been about 4 years, hasn't it?
It's been a long, long time, my man.
Could even be longer than that. 5 years?
Yeah, it's probably about 5 years, but it's an absolute honour to have you in the back of the cab. And we finally made it.
We did. We just sort of like, it's been interesting doing the slides. You know, I'm a long way from home. Belsize Park.
Exactly.
Northern Line.
Well, you know I'm all city, so I'm all over the shop.
Fucking not me. I can only stay from like Richmond to Kew. What else caught out of push?
Listen, man, I can't wait to get your history, and I'm really looking forward to having a chat with you about the old days as well as what you're up to nowadays.
Thank you.
So let's get down to the nitty gritty. As you're in the lion's den.
This is it, man. The locks are on.
The locks are on. You ain't
climbing out the windows.
You ain't getting out until we get what we want. So, Don, the first two questions we got is, you know, where are you from and what was it like growing up as a kid?
Born in Clapham, which is near Clapham North Hospital. From there, it was White City,
right.
Shepherd's Bush. And then from there, if we were to do a bit of a timeline, kind of moved north, which was kind of Watford area. So, and then after that was Scotland.
Right.
Spent a lot of time there. My father's an engineer, so an engineer's son. So you travel with the work. And then moved to, when I was about 9, let's say, to Brunei. Came back to this country 81.
Right.
And that's when it was all kicking off, wasn't it, for us?
Yeah, big time. So, yeah, where did you move back to?
Well, it was Barnes, Mortlake area.
Yeah. So
Sheen, that catchment.
So that the Barnes is where you kind of sowed your roots.
So coming back here was a bit of a shock. And I just got involved in the hip-hop culture, man.
Oh, well, I was going to say to you, before hip-hop, I mean, what was you into before hip-hop? Was you, like, listening to, like, watching Top of the Pops and...
Totally, all of that,
so what
you know...
was it? Did you get into the new romantic thing, or...?
All of that. It was all a cliche thing, you know...
two-tone era?
It's a scene, yeah. It was totally that. But I wasn't, you know, for me it was Michael Jackson, you know?
Oh, you was a big MJ
really
fan?
well, off the wall,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
It's all, you know, that started really tying in, you know, with all that. But I was into pop music. Seriously, that's what I was into. I didn't have a specific taste or anything like that.
You just love popular music.
Yeah, totally. And you got laughed at a little bit. But man, we're young and popular music's safe and it's nice.
So how did you start getting into hip hop? I mean, what kind of first sparked that hip-hop thing for you?
It just friends, you know, who I was hanging around with. Andrew, who wrote Hash. We were good buddies. And we just slipped into, I suppose it was like, what are you into? Into the hip hop culture, you know, that's coming over from the States, or what we're listening to.
Yeah.
It was really pushed on us anyway, so you couldn't hide from it.
And what was you listening to back then? Can you remember a few little tracks you was listening to?
Do you know, I was thinking about this earlier on. You know, craft work. You know, Tour de
France, yeah.
I kind of started Graff when that was in, Covent Garden started becoming a big thing. So it's down there breaking.
So that was kind of
a seminal track.
Kind of like what, 84-ish?
Yeah, you know, shit at 83, was working out the pillars, do you know what I mean? What I was into, we're BMXing, breakdancing, we're doing all of that, and then it's the fucking art thing, man, the side of it.
Yeah.
That's what I got drawn to.
That's right.
It's like I couldn't really, you know, I was doing, you know...
When did you get the fever? You know, when did you get the rush for, you know, what come first? I mean, was you a tagger first, or was you into...
Total tagger.
You was
I
a
will
tagger.
be a tagger to the day I die.
Yeah,
And the bombing
yeah.
aspect of it
That's
is...
what you loved.
That's what I loved.
you loved.
And the piecing side to it, I got okay at.
Yeah, yeah.
And...
Like you love getting your name up.
yeah, I really did. I really did. It was about getting up, but obviously the older we get, the more boring it gets, and you've got to fucking think about it now. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So we'll go through that with the timeline anyway. But Zacky's a big deal for me. Barnesbridge Station.
Yeah, Zaki, ain't he from your neck of the woods?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he's the guy. He's the guy, you know,
That you looked up to, yeah.
Can't believe it. There's a very quiet little street in Mortlake, and there's a little motor spares shop there, and we used to go in there and try and rack paint. And it's, you know, the ones that, you know, the cans slip down, you sleeve them. And we went in there a particular time, me and Hash, and my brother as well, and Zaki was in there. I was like, fuck.
That's the first time you met.
I didn't know Zaki back then.
So what? You just got talking to him?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, not really. Just observing, man. Just
Right.
in awe. And thought, well, Zaki's in here. Let's fucking step out because we're hotting up the situation. We used to go, you know, Henry's big, massive fucking commission that he did. It was like Lee, you know, the artist. He's the artist, you know, we've got to look up to him. And I thought, oh, I've got to start getting some pieces, you know, around, or some outlines, you know what I mean? Because you want to get noted, right? Because he's the guy on the scene, so, you know, I'm the other guy on the block. So we used to go out with the colours, with Pac, who used to write Time then. His other tag was Cirky D. You know, we used to come out with some fucking crazy first tags, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
But I remember one time, it's at the White Hart pub just near Barnes, and we got fucking chased by two police, you know, on you know, on the beat. My brother fucking escaped, Martin escaped, Pac escaped. This guy just jumped on me, took me by the legs, and then I fucking fell into the road, oncoming traffic, all of that. Tithead fell off, and I think that Zaki said he saw that happen in, you know, the fucking streets of Barnes.
the bad
Barnes. The boogie down Barnes.
Yeah.
And but Barnesbridge Station was just like, you started seeing that getting built up with Graff, and obviously
was
got
slowly-
to mention Grace as well. He's the guy as well that you've got to look at. Call 88, all these people, and
did they have wicked hand styles?
yeah, it's fantastic, you know. But we're so close to Sundance, which is obviously gets dropped all the time,
Yeah.
which is in Hammersmith, where I used to see, you know, Booze Tags, who's still an amazing friend of mine, Mace. He had it tied down because he lived pretty opposite there.
Zaki D was a big influence.
Oh, yeah, he's the guy, man.
Yeah,
he's,
for you.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah.
And with Andy Vaughan going down to, he was breakdancing there with one of the crews, which I don't want to just blast out any names, but I remember seeing Zaki painting the boards there at South Bank, and that was early. I think that might have been 85 or something. There was a massive show there, and I think he was painting a big, like, rat or something, or a mouse, and it had Zaki D, and I think Scribbler was there as well. Yeah, great, because Scribbler was your side neck of the woods, wasn't he?
He was from Bromley way, yeah. Bromley and Mo 2. Mo 2 was from Catford.
Fucking incredible. So that's a little connection there, eh?
Yeah.
So I started with Hash, which then comes into Ganja. It was a full pack. We were like four amigos, man. We used to really hang out. Ganja, rest in peace. But before we...
Where was Ganja from? Barnes way as well?
Well, Shepherd's Bush.
Shepherd's Bush,
But
yeah.
then came to Sheen.
Yeah,
Then we hung out at school. We all kind of latched on because he was bombing a lot. He was just fucking all over the place. And then we had Sean and Ruff and Sed and all those guys were coming into play. So it was a right old community there, man, of graffers.
Was it a bit like the writer's bench as well, where you'd kind of...
It was.
Everyone would meet up?
Lennox was definitely that sort of place.
Yeah.
I mean, before we graphed, I used to battle ganja at breakdance.
Did ya?
At breakdance! Yes, we used to fucking battle each other, man. Jason and I. And Jason used to do this thing. He wasn't a breaker, he's a popper.
Yeah.
And he used to do this thing when he wanted to start the row off. God, fucking, we would have been 14 or 15. And I remember he used to just get this big bit of flop in his hand, and he used to just fucking put it all over us. I thought, that's Jason. Always ended up in a fight with Ganja, rest in peace. Became one of my best friends, you know, and but he was really the, you know, forefront in that area with Cool 88. They were hitting things hard, and you know, the rest is history. With Jason.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Ganja.
Yeah, definitely.
Going back to the earliest days of, I mean, what was inspiring you? How was you getting into it? I mean, I spoke to Score, and Score was telling me, you know, he was looking at album covers and like a lot of us was doing back then. I mean, and obviously, you know, in '84 when Subway Art come out, that kind of kicked it off. Also, Star Wars.
Don't mention all this, man. It's a cliche. No joke. Fucking as soon as that hit the shelves, this explosion.
It hit us all, didn't it?
Fucking without a doubt.
It was amazing, wasn't it? At the kind of New York writers, who was influencing you as, you know, from them sides?
Well, obviously Covent Garden, we had T-Kid, didn't we, coming down?
Yeah.
T-Kid.
And
you know, the
well.
nasty fucking boys, Brim, all of that, Futura, we were blessed with that early stuff. You know, like a Futura piece untouched for fucking a few years in Grove. Isn't that amazing?
And that was the first ever kind of graffiti style piece, I suppose, connected to hip hop that was put under the Westway around, or the side of it, around, when was it, 1980, 81?
Yeah, it's all of that, but I don't want to keep repeating because people probably, that's well documented.
Yeah.
Scams really documented that with previous sort of interviews, but
that's right.
Totally, that they were the seeds.
Let's talk about a few of the locations, Don. I mean, obviously Westway was massive. I mean, you had other spots like Latimer Road.
Yeah.
Near there was like a little kind of place where you could do Graff.
Yeah, Latimer Road Dump was fucking awesome.
People call it the dump.
Yeah, they did. And Snow, part of the UBG crew, it was his little hangout. And
it's a good little spot, wasn't it? I went there a few times.
Yeah, it really, really was. And Bad Meaning Good, I think that was well documented, and I think all standing on the side or something, the Tim Westwood thing. That got a little bit of a look in that little spot, and it really was. You could just put a piece in, it would do well there. But you had Casby there, you had Saga, rest in peace.
Saga, I was going to say Saga.
Beautiful Freedom piece, and then you had Cade, Crane.
That Freedom was
Demo, early pieces there.
Freedom was beautiful. Do you remember? It was like a pinky. And it was popping with all the like a lightning kind of all coming.
It was that.
Yeah, that was lovely.
You know, it was such a recognisable style, and I just, you know, Ice 3 had got that. It was that kind of a top heavy with and the little dashes with the little blur to represent the.
I took a photo of it. It's
the whole
back in the day when that would have been about probably 86.
Yeah, it's
a beautiful piece.
Mind-boggling.
R.I.P. to Saga as well. But let's talk about the fashion as well, because obviously fashion was a big part of the kind of image back then.
Yeah.
I mean, we was kind of because we was into the graph and into the hip hop, you know, being that kind of looking b-boy or writer looking character was a big part of the scene.
It was massive.
It was huge.
And
we need to talk about fashion. So
I wish I could entertain that. I was just a tramp. Seriously, I just had my fat laces.
So you're rocking the fat laces?
And fat laces was probably the only thing. It was always ripped jeans, and the trademark was a grey hoodie and a blue puffer jacket. was my fashion. That was my love, man. That's
Did you rock the name belt?
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on, man,
yeah.
you must have not rocked the name belt.
Yeah, the brass. Yeah, rocking the brass, which is long gone, unfortunately. I don't know where it's fucking gone. But belt buckle, of course, Covent Garden with your belt buckle, you know, staircase, classic. Loved it. You had to do the workout.
What did Covent Garden mean to you? I mean, it was a fantastic spot for everybody all over London, all over the UK, and other countries used to come Covent Garden to check out the scene.
Yeah, I just felt like I was so young.
Yeah.
But I used to be coming up there with a lino, so I'd be rocking the Graff stuff, just checking it out, trying to meet the characters. But I was in the periphery, man. I wasn't fucking in there. I was a little bit too young.
So
maybe
kind of
13, 14, yeah, a little bit. But I had my rolled up, lino with Hash, and my brother and Martin and Pat used to come up, and we just fucking earned a $5 or something. You know, we'd roll it out.
What was your crew called? Can you remember?
The Get Fresh Crew.
Was it?
No, I don't know.
Can't remember.
My brother was Turtle. I was like windmill into a backspin. We used to just try and do our little thing, but it was cute. Do you know what I mean? It was like
It was a buzz, wasn't it?
we're busting our fucking moves. But like I said, like the Graff thing would slowly really just take form, and then
Remember the first piece or the first tag you done, and how did it make you feel when you done it?
yeah, it was do the colour on brick wall, and you know, it was great. Do you know what I mean? It was bombing away. I just think the smell. I just got into the smell and the paint, and it was the racking and it's all four things, isn't it? It's the smell, it's the racking, it's the danger, and then the next day seeing it up. You know, you just think, you know, all combined, it just then.
And then you kind of got the fever.
On.
You kind of got the fever for it.
Well, it did, but like I said, you know, I've done a shitload, but never really fucking did it. But I did it in enough in my area that made me happy. Because the thing is, the heat got on me at very early on, and I just fucking cut the mustard. Not enough. And that's what I thank, you know, Ganja for. Just push me a little bit. But
Push you to that next stage.
Really, yeah. I needed, you know, that, you know, Jason was just like fucking balls out, and, you know, that no care, you know, attitude. And I, if I was going to get anywhere, I needed to be around him, you know. And that was, fucking like the guy. I didn't hang around with him because it was going to get me to the next level. I fucking loved Jason. He was like a beautiful, fucking amazing friend, and we bounced off of each other. So it was nice while it lasted, you know.
And what does a hand style mean to you?
This is funny. I couldn't tag for ages, and I remember Pac, and I was teasing him about this. I remember Pac, you saying to me, Don, how come we haven't got the fucking knack of tagging? How come we got no style? But I got him to thank for that, because
he pushed you.
Yeah, it's all about the pushing, you know. Then, and then I managed to sort of observe the flicks and get some hand style going, and basically what it is just capital letters now. I just do, it's a bit stylized, but I haven't really tackled the tag style. But you know, I've got my tag and the flick, and I've got to mention Mean. He's an amazing guy, you know, from back in the day. And talking about like Duster, Mean was also a big deal for me, you know, back in the day, and ended up being in SBS with him. Was really, really nice getting invited to be in that crew. I thought, yeah, this is a fucking amazing crew to be invited to be in. And Mean's one of these amazing, cool artists.
Well,
and we fucking love him.
I'm hoping to meet Mean possibly next week and having a cab chat with Mean.
Beautiful.
So that'll be incredible.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Big shout out to Mean.
Subway Saints. All the
yeah.
way out there. And Subway Saints is an amazing crew because it just having affiliation with everyone. It's just a beautiful thing, you know.
So I was going to talk about.
So many artists.
I was going to talk about crews then. So yeah, obviously you in Subway Saints. So who's in Subway Saints? It's you.
Oh,
me,
Lone, yeah, Sed. Fucking so many about the series, Emace, the list goes on. Shun. It's just a lovely fucking hard-hitting crew.
And what
ITC World now, with sort of like Putney Bridge, Fulham. You know, talking about Rev, ITC, Bus. Max, you know, all of those guys, they were pretty close to where I was in Sheen and Barnes, so we'd have an affiliation with those guys or hang out. And obviously, you know, Chain and Grand, Earls Court, they were my sort of like areas. And then Just Free, I remember he was a bomber, he was a cool guy. Meeting PIC at fucking Southfields was amazing once, man. Fucking, I just thought.
Did you meet them when they was in the crew, like partners in crime with the two of them, or just?
No. This is just PIC.
Yeah, just on his own.
Southfields, and I thought. He knows this. I've talked to him many times. That guy, I've got a massive love for him, man. He's such a cool fucking guy. I mean, Pac and I saw him at Southfields. Thought, what? And a bit older. It's like, fucking hell.
Yeah, Pig's
London town, it's slightly on the outskirts here.
Pig is a good geezer. I'd love to get PIC in the cab. Actually, PIC, if you're watching this.
Please.
Let's get you in the cab, obviously, masked up or whatever, and we need to have a chat.
It's good. So meeting him and us wrecking a few insides and fucking outsides with him showing us the fucking how it's done, basically. But yeah, Envy as well, amazing. It's kind of, and then although those guys. Fisher and Boxer, that was all that fucking area, really. But then, from Richmond, we had Frame and Chaos a little bit later on. But then I was part of the Devious Effects firm as well, which was all sort of Isleworth Hounslow. And that was Noir, that was Era, Hounslow Way and Fury. And Sort as well, was a fucking amazing friend of mine. And Gush, who was the artist. I thought, oh man, these are a fucking cool bunch of guys, man. I'm gonna hang out with them for a little while. Real artists. And Noir and Era were the bombers. I thought, yeah, I'm gonna tag on with this. But it's great, man, because in Richmond sides, we're caning the trains. And I remember Kiki was bombing the fronts of the ballbanger trains there, and
what do you call them? Ball bangers
or slam doors, but I like ball bangers.
Why did you call ball bangers?
I just figured because it was the ball
at the
that
front,
was just
at the front of the train.
Well, it could be at the front, but in the door.
Oh right, yeah.
The ball just it's a bang in, and it used to be like it's a sort of ball and socket thing. But those fucking two carriages, man, were fucking brilliant at Richmond Station. They were the only BRs I would ever touch because they had some connection to the underground for a little while. They went, North London. But BRs obviously back then wouldn't touch with a barge pole. I mean, you used to be just sitting there and you could just jump over and never wanted to touch them. They just weren't New York enough, But the ball bangers, we used to touch. And then obviously Chico, rest in peace. We used to be sending messages back with Acrid. I think all the North London sides, and the trains would roll back in, and then we would be Chico, was it the Fabulous Five or something, or there's just loads. So they were good trains to bomb. Oh, I got to mention Charp, man, because he was your side, wasn't he? Splat, Charp.
I'm not too
Camberwell.
sure, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I
That was UBG.
I gave up writing probably around 1985. So I'm only kind of knowledgeable from like 84, 85, 86.
Got to mention my man. He was UBG, representing from those sides, Old Kent Road. And I remember going, travelling there.
I was going to say,
Camberwell.
so did you go to the Old Kent Road warehouse?
Yeah, went. They busted a few pieces there.
So you see the cash piece in there, Tough Arts.
Yeah, Cash, you were mind blowing, man.
Yeah.
Really fucking cool pieces. Remember those? And it's so funny because I was a bomber and a train writer. That's what I wanted to be. So this wall shit I wasn't really into.
But
I remember in Mace busting a nice outline because we were UBG crew then. And all fucking bars and arrows coming off. He did me an outline, and I painted it in, and I didn't get a photograph. I've got a very small, rough photograph of it, but it's fucking mind-boggling. I loved it. It's one of my favourite pieces. Things that you kind of dream about. Do you know what I mean? And I never really got a good picture of it. I loved it. And I remember Psych and Diet going in there. I remember passing them with Mean and Chop. I thought, back to this day, I hope Psych got a picture of that. But anyway, I remember Ruff had a wonderful fucking character with tits out and everything, with hair. And I thought, I'm going over that piece, but I'm going to nick this character. So I just blended a DON piece and just had this girl just doing this. I thought, it's just one of those things. Someone had gone over Ruff's piece, but the girl was untouched. But I thought I'd bring that in. Do you know what I mean? It's a little bit like old school Graff, NYC Graff. Pieces over pieces over pieces over pieces over pieces. You're not quite sure if that was there before or after. Blah blah blah. But that's got Old Kent Road. Good memories of that, man.
And Dom, where else was you going? What other kind of locations? Did you ever go 9 Elm Cold Stores in Vauxhall?
You mentioned that. No, I didn't. But I could have.
Yeah, it was like Cold Stores is abandoned at the time, and there'd be loads of tramps in there drinking methylated spirits.
Yeah.
And
Well, this is the same place as Sundance.
Really
It sounds
eerie.
Saying the arches, getting all the spray cans together, making a bonfire and fucking blowing up stuff. Yeah, just being
kids.
Yeah, being kids, man.
Did you go to any of the early jams?
Two I mentioned, because I mentioned that was Score before, was that incredible exhibition at Riverside Studios. We had Lee. It was a Lee exhibition.
Oh, you went to that?
Fucking yeah, man.
I bet that was wicked.
And
man.
that shed some light. I tell you, I was talking to Score about that.
And that was kind of that was off Fulham Palace Road, isn't it, over that way?
Zeus was there. He did a piece. Cannot believe it. Spray Saint. All of that history. Fucking was there, man. Saw these fucking pieces. They were inspirational. They were the ones that were they weren't illegal, but they were just, yeah, you saw, the lines got thinner and thinner with the highlights and everything and the outlines, but these were nice, chunky, controlled outlines, all bars, and seeing Lee's oil paintings and things, that was really, really cool. And that was on the bridge, man. That's Hammersmith Bridge.
How did you get your name, Don?
Don, that was being silly, man, because, I'm a serious guy, but with the whole Instagram thing, I just play all of the social media at its own game. People like to have a laugh. Like I said to you today, that I was never caught up with the beef, man, with Graff, and I know it seemed to be a big part of it, but I don't think it was in the early day. It was about just getting down and showing the style and blah. And that's what I caught on to. I was always fucking polite on the lines. I never, push my weight around or anything like that. Or
you didn't like the hassle and the beef.
I didn't want to attract it. I wasn't interested.
No,
and when it came my way, I knew how to handle myself. As an artist, especially, I don't know if you're drawn to this dark side, you've got to be a little bit slightly unhinged with this Graff thing, because it doesn't just come with drawing at a desk. It comes with pre-thought. You know, that's why I fucking ran in like a fucking dog. We are marking our territory, and basically it ain't fucking happening. You're gonna have a row, you know, because you've got to defend yourself. But for me, it was just like throwing tennis balls of love all the time to people. But obviously, to see that when you're younger is a bit fucking gay, which I'm not, but I could be. If you wanted me to be. No, but you know, but people were a little bit surprised when I used to just say, "Oh, what do you write?" And used to think, "You fucking, you know, where's the beef, man? Where's the fucking, where's the fun?" Never into it whatsoever, because I know a smile will fucking get you
a smile goes
very far. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We know this. There's too much shit in the world. You know, and people being envious and jealous. You just gotta wish the best for everybody, everything that lives, because we are just like you know, we're a nanosecond. We're just hosting on this planet, getting spiritual and all of that stuff.
We was brought up on the values of the Zulu Nation, and the values of the Zulu Nation was peace, unity, love, and having fun.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we was at with the hip hop and the Graff thing and all that. So
it sounds, yeah.
I'm like you, Don. I wasn't into the beef. I wasn't into causing the trouble and all that. Do you know what I mean?
And you know, even you know, for me now, you know, it's still, I just don't want to bitch about anybody, and you know, I'm not, you know, obviously, you know, people make it clear to me, you know, that you know they don't like me, but I'll never hate them. And art's an amazing thing that we've encompassed, and you know, with the audio visual, and I was listening to you know, Brian Ferry earlier on, Roxy Music, brought up with that stuff, Bowie, the creatives, music, art, acting, you know, it's just expression. As long as you're not harming anybody, and you know, and you know, you're not doing a bad thing. Do you know what I mean? Did you have a favourite
weapon of choice? Like, did you have a favourite marker and favourite paint back in the day?
Oh well, it's always.
Let's talk about the you know, the weapons. Let's talk about
weapons
the
of
tools.
mass distraction.
Talk about the tools.
The tools of the
what was
trade.
your tools of the trade?
Well, it was Duplicolour, wasn't it? It was the cheap fucking penny sweet, man. And then you go up to the fucking 10p Mars bar. Remember how much cheap things were back then? 10p a bus ride. Anyway, yeah, so Buntlack. As soon as you got a smell of that, a whiff of that shit,
you was hooked.
There ain't no turning back.
You was hooked.
Everything was just like hierarchy. It was just like, oh no, using the, you know, stuff. But the thing is, this is why it was lovely to hear what Duster had to say. They just racked anything. They didn't give a shit what they sprayed with. But because it's quite interesting in England, a bit of a class system going on.
But I think over in the States, though, I think their paint was slightly better quality. They had like Red Devil and Rust-Oleum and all that. Yeah.
But it's beautiful. But they just would just rack whatever they could, and it should have been the same. But I loved the 400mm Duplicolour Olympic Blue. That was always like past the test. Do you know what I mean? They were good colours to have. The Applejack, get the 400mm Duplicolours or car plans were nice.
How about the pens? I mean, did you have some favourite markers?
Not really, man. It's just the 850.
Edding
850, yeah, silver.
The Pentels.
Yeah, Pentels were all right. They're all right. It was the Edding really. Pentel was just a little bit. Again, it was all right, but me and Kez, man, fucking hell, that was Booker with a super 70mm pen. He could make some pens, that guy. And I remember, like,
how was he making his pens?
Kez, I don't know, but I'm just mentioning him because it's just a memory for me, being on a packed train. We were just being at Baker Street, and I was with Ganja, and Kez wrote Ganja. He put him up, and then there was a Kez, and I just went, Kez, put Don up, please. And it's like, you know, you're starting to get a bit of a crowd, you know, people, you know, flashing up their fucking bus passes saying that they're CID and stuff. It's like, you know, this is a packed train, and he did it, and I was just like, wow, Ganja, Kez, and Don just fucking on their way home. On the inside, on the probably the back of the driver's carriage, but that was good. But that's my memory of a pen, you know, a fucking brilliant flow like master or whatever, brilliant.
So your weapon of choice was the Edding.
Yeah, Edding 850, or just fill up a spongy shoe marker thing and just do throw ups with that really. But yeah, with the technical side of stuff, I wasn't great really. I wasn't sort of carving out fat caps. I'd pull out the little bit inside a spray mount, and that would be my fat cap. I wasn't actually that great at all of that, actually, to be honest with you. But yeah, silver 850. Yeah, it was awesome, man.
And Don, can you tell me, like, you know, as paint and markers, have they kind of changed from back in those kind of early to mid 80s? Have they changed massively? Because I've heard someone tell me, like, you got all different cam pressures now and different nozzles and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, see, look, when you get all these pens, I mean, there is, yeah, you're right, there's so much, man. There's like
so much choice.
Acid etch and all of that stuff.
All the different colours.
Yeah. But I'll just be like, I just gotta have a pencil, you know, just fucking score it in with that. Or, like I said, coming up the staircase, just got all my fingers, all my nails, and just fucking scratched it in the dirt. You know, dust bombing was a big deal. But, like, however you can make a mark. And that's what I suppose in the timeline of my history now, it's like, I kind of finished in 92. And from 92, I was kind of Graff. I was doing a couple of pieces a year, trying to keep kind of in it, but I wasn't active. I was. Is
that when you started moving more into the kind of artistic side of things?
Well, no, I was in the film industry for about 12 years.
Was you?
Yeah, so I'd kind of, my art thing had really plateaued out, because children came into play then.
Right.
I had my son, born in 98. So I was, as a dad, I started thinking about, earning a living and, bread and butter stuff, which I look back now, 21 years already, it's just like, wow, how much water underneath the bridge. But
so when did you start getting your kind of artistic flair in terms of, what you're doing nowadays with the art type stuff?
Yeah. Well, I came out of the film industry, I had a really good time, and...
Was you in any films?
I was working in art department.
Ah, right.
So I'd be working with production designers. They've, Peter Wenham, fucking incredible. He's just done all the Bourne Ultimatums, and he's done some incredible films like Mission Impossible. But in 2004, I came out because I had to nurse my brother. He had cancer.
Yeah.
My identical twin brother.
Yeah.
And he only had a year to live. So this is really important, because this is something that happened inside me. Because I was on the hamster wheel, just earning money, getting, doing any fucking thing. It doesn't have to be art. It could be, labouring. I was doing all sorts of shit. All jobs. Not shit, but great jobs. It made me who I am. I've done a lot of things. A lot of, like, grafting, work, just to survive, mate. And because I can never really concentrate. I could never really kind of think, right, that's where I'm going to be, and I'm going to go up the ladder, and I'm just going to keep going, no matter what happens. I'm going to keep going until I get to Africa. Always been a daydreamer, so I've flitted and fluttered from all sorts of different jobs, but kind of kept my head above water. But something happened in 2004, because I'm a twin, and that was going to rock my world, really. It was basically near enough kill me, to be honest with you, because I lost my brother to cancer, and that last 6 months was just really really difficult, and I was 33 then. So I was kind of like a quiet, shy kid, gaining confidence through my art, and then kind of got to a point at 33 where I was kind of found myself. Do you know what I mean? But when Stuart passed away, it just fucking shattered me, man. To see, you know, him slowly fading away, and it was just all not a fucking joke anymore. It was like serious, you know, this is like survival. I thought, how am I gonna fucking survive by myself? I've had the backup of my brother all these years, and I got a lot to thank. Obviously, my Sarah, my partner at the time, it was amazing. Mace was there for me. Martin Sawyer was there for me. Fed, rest in peace, bless him, was there for me. And I thought, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do now? I'm by myself. I've laid Stuart to rest, and so I was doing like a job where I was delivering shopping. It was with Ocado back then, and I worked for them for about 2 years delivering shopping. And I needed to be in a solitary place with no one around me. I needed to be in a cabin, like an environment like we're in, where I would just scream my fucking head off, like so much. It scared the shit out of me sometimes, the loudness of my voice when I was just like going down the motorway, because I had died. I fucking didn't know what to do. I remember being outside the Crown pub where Stuart's wake was, and I remember screaming into the ground, just going, fucking, you know, like, how dare you take my brother away from me? I didn't, you know, it's that fucking screaming into the fucking ground, saying, how dare you? I didn't say you could take him. I didn't say you could fucking take him. And it was just the realisation that I couldn't, you know, save him, and that was it. And that's when I started to be an artist again. And I saw what Banksy was doing, because I'd been observing this kind of movement, and I thought, yeah, I think I can fucking do this. So I got the battle mentality, not the beef, but it's like, oh, okay, this is what the scene is. This is what people are doing now. Okay, I've got to see if I can up the game a little bit. So I was observing it. Okay, yeah, play around with different ideas. You know, comedy. You know, where the audience, the people, the public would see and go, oh, that's a funny joke. You know, what Banksy does, plays around with social commentary and everything. So I tried that and enjoyed it. Thought it was good. But then I got into portraiture work, because that is tapping into when I was a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, when I used to do art in classes. I remember battling some guy drawing the best Superman, and I remember him coming out with the most amazing design. And I remember that day, that there's always someone better than you. That's always been in my mind from this day. You know, not to try to, it's too much pressure to try and think, I'm going to be fucking the best. There's always someone better than you, but enjoy that, because it's just humans entertaining. Do you know what I mean? And it's good to see skill, not to be jealous, to be in awe and admire, you know? So portraiture was a massive thing. I always found that really interesting. I thought, wow, to paint someone's face and to have it, like the likeness, it is just incredible. So that's what I started perfecting, and that's why I am where I am today with portraiture.
Well, listen, Don, you've done some amazing work, and your brother Stuart will be absolutely proud of what you've done, Don. Honestly,
Steve,
your
I
brother,
appreciate
your
that.
brother will be looking down on you now, saying, "Don, I am bloody proud of you."
Yeah, I love
know,
you saying that, man. Thank you.
And no, I really mean that. I can feel, your brother's with us now, and he's looking down on us now. He's in this cab with us now, and he's saying, "Don, you're absolutely incredible."
Yeah.
You
And
really
that's
are.
lovely. That's human nature, and that's beautiful, and that's passionate, and that's sensitive. And
Because I know you do a lot of tribute art as well, malls. People that have passed away.
I'm in touch with that.
Yeah.
People go, oh look, when they really fucking don't get it. It's just like I celebrate already something that exists. It's not a great big secret of something of a person that was amazing at what they do, and I'm a fan, and that's why live and passed away.
Well, listen, I've got to say, Don, anybody watching this interview now, what we're going to do at the end of this interview, we're going to be putting up some of Don's old work, some of the Graff stuff, but also some of Don's new, his proper kind of arty type stuff, which is absolutely incredible. Because you've done tributes to Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm pleased that you mentioned that, because she's an interesting girl, and I was really like, oh man, I was sad to see her pass. I always thought she was a bit of a writer herself, to be honest with you. I thought she'd be down with all of that. And it's funny because Mitch ended up getting in contact with me to see if I would paint something for the cab app, which was great. And
the free now black taxi app, yeah.
Yeah, which is great, and Back to Black, and there's all of that, and
Back to Black, yeah, I know it worked really well.
Yeah.
And if anyone's watching this, I'm sure there's a video on YouTube.
Oh mate, that was weird. When you turned up when I was painting.
How mad was that?
At Hoxton.
How mad was that?
And then you pull up and you go, "What are you doing here?" And I'm thinking, I'm doing something, this Back to Black app. Ident thing.
For free now for the black cabs.
Steve, all city, fucking there. And you actually dropped off a client that was working on the bloody.
I know, that was mental, wasn't it?
Anyway, it's all that 6 degrees and stuff, and that was brilliant.
But you've also done tributes to David Bowie. You've done tributes to Keith Flint from the Prodigy.
Yeah, recently. I got my little spots up in Soho. I've had hijacked a few times, people gone over my stuff, but I learn when people cross me out, I don't think I'm gonna fucking take him or take whoever out. I think, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I am a little bit maybe in your face. Maybe I should calm down, because I've got a bit of OCD, so if I just keep tagging, I'll keep tagging. If I do some artwork, I'll keep building up. And so maybe I should move on. Yeah, that's good. I always give it back to them. Do you know what I mean? I don't fucking hate people.
No.
It's just like, because I know that I've got to check myself. Do you know what I mean? And as long as other people know that they have to as well. Because like I said, we're quite incidental, really. Humans. We've got a good knack of, fucking up this planet, which is really, really sad. But I'm a writer. I've fucked up a few things, myself, war-wise. But it's interesting. So yeah, fitness is big in my life, Steve. I do that.
Yeah. Well, we can see. I mean, look at the size of you.
Oh no, I appreciate you saying that, but trust me, man. When I was 18, I used to do it for vanity, because you're caught in. You want to, meet the girls, blah blah blah. You want to be in shape. But now it's to survive, mate. Seriously, it's to survive, because that this last 10 years, when my brother passed away, 5 years had passed, and I thought, I feel like I'm dying. I feel like I haven't got a grip. I feel like I'm drinking too much, smoking too much. I thought, I've got to get a better lifestyle. So it's not about vanity anymore. It's about survival, and it's about encasing myself with an outer shell to protect this fucking heart of mine. Because I know I've seen life being stripped away from you, and I play on it sometimes, on social media, because I think I'm not interested in guys, I'm interested in girls. Do you know what I mean? And girls like seeing guys, and guys like seeing fucking girls. So it's just one great big circle. So most of the haters, I get that when I'm doing that posing and stuff, but I just do it to push it out there to the guys as well, to look after yourself. You know, I've got still a young kid, I want to be playing football with him. And well, trust me, man, when you go out there and get into the fitness tip, the swimming, just the light weights, the diet, you feel good about yourself. And that's why it's quite big on the Instagram. You've got people doing things, you know, the CrossFit stuff. It's really, but I've also, you know, I've been fighting alcoholism as well, and I drunk a lot, and I find that I beat that out of my system.
Well, do you know I did as well, Don? I've pretty much given up alcohol for the past 20 years. And smoking and everything else. I've given it all up.
And you look like it, man.
20 years, probably 20 odd years
You're
now.
in good shape, Steve. You look fucking amazing, and I applaud you. I really do. For me, I did 2 years, but the only way I can deal with it now, for it to be on my conscience, is to be involved in fitness. So I know if I drink too much that I've got a workout to do. It's just a little bit like an anchor. Do you know what I mean? Like children are for you. You know, commitments. You know, and that's what I do. So in the last 5 years, it's been really, really important for me, that aspect.
And if there was any writer from back in the day, past or present, who you'd love to basically paint with, could you give me a few names? Who you would love to have painted
it
with?
has to be Ice 3, man.
Ice 3?
Has to be Ice 3. I mentioned this before, and it was great. I was talking to, just communicating a little bit with Insane and Sex One. That guy, man, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. His you know, Saga. So these guys were just their pieces, you know.
Yeah, incredible pieces.
Judge Rio, you know, Scam. I've had the honour to now paint with him. He was a big deal for me, painting him with him, you know, a couple of years ago.
I interviewed Scam in the cab.
I saw the interview. It's just blinding. I love it. Absolutely love it. And I just got to applaud you, mate. Brilliant. It's been a long time. You know, obviously we were going to talk about the Articulate show, which, you know, I did for a year. Didn't get to interview you on that.
I know you was going to, wasn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'll be honest with you. One of the reasons why I'm kind of doing these cab chats was because of the Articulate show. I used to love listening in on them. I was so gutted when they stopped. I mean, the one you done with Mr. Met was so good. I mean,
it was
honestly,
funny,
Met has me cracking up. You and him together were like electric.
Reefer was in the background as well, doing percussion.
Oh,
and Reefer,
so funny.
I've got to mention Reefer. He's speaking to him earlier on. What a lovely guy. I've known him for years.
Shout out to Reefer.
Yeah, I mean, interviewing him, hearing his fucking music that he's been doing. Oh God, man, we're entertaining these articulate shows. The people that I interviewed on there, it was amazing. But I toggled between top photographers and sculptors, a bit like you, the amazing musicians.
Oh yeah,
that you got in here. You Chuck D in here.
I know. I can't believe I interviewed Public Enemy. I mean, and the S1Ws. That was amazing. Having Chuck D in my cab, I was like, wow, this is just real.
Like,
and you know, Chuck D is such a nice guy. He's so on the level.
Yes,
he's not big-headed. He's just such a straight-up nice.
Lovely, absolutely.
He really is. He's a diamond geezer, Chuck D.
Brilliant. And Wizzy Gig, we did a portrait of him outside Rough Trade. And he was there, and he was in awe, and his entourage said, "Oh, can you paint the portrait on my jacket?" So we started painting jackets, and it's brilliant. And he's been here, and all the other guys, all the DJs you've had, these old guys, the Ragged Twins, fucking hell,
Master Swift,
oh,
DJ
what?
Pogo,
But it's just brilliant.
Skinny Man, Rodney P.
Rodney P. Jeez, that's just. I mean, this
Sharp Eye. I mean, there's been so many.
The London Posse and all of that back in the day, and oh my God.
I think I've interviewed around sort of 30 odd people over the past 3 years. I mean...
Really?
Yeah, something like that. And I've got loads lined up. I'm going to be hopefully meeting Drax soon, Merc, Killer Instinct, Hard Noise. I've got so many people.
You've got to get Cass is Dead in here. Huh? Fucking brilliant. But I'm going to mention the Black Axe Mangel guys. He's an incredible Lee, he's an incredible chef. Highbury and Islington, Black Axe Mangel. You must go past that around the roundabout. Yeah. Brilliant. Because I painted his pizza oven there. And we did the Kiss characters. But recently I've just finished doing Cass is Dead on there with the Warriors.
Yes.
Fucking
my favourite film of all time.
Isn't it? Fucking brilliant. So I did all the characters on that. But it's
Hey, listen.
Suckers!
Listen.
I say the future is ours!
You know, now I've got that on my player, and that wasn't kind of set up.
Sorry,
I love the Warriors. I play the Warriors soundtrack in the cab when I'm driving around in London.
Oh, it's proper, man. Now that is fashion. That just encapsulates lots of stuff.
When I went to New York, man, the first place I went to was Coney Island.
It would be, man. It would be.
And Don, can you give me some of your biggest highlights?
Well, painting in G, Gloucester Road is the highlight for me. And it is one time. Oh, actually, another one was the shed Acton, doing that by myself. That was a real big thing. Just bombing every front and backs of the trains. That was a big thing for me because I fucking went there by myself and just hit everyone in all like 4 sheds and the layup there. And I thought that was like a solo mission. They were interesting, man.
Big highlights.
Big highlights. Yeah. Then yes, like we mentioned before, the Duster show. Having Duster in the UK, sharing Duster with the elite of UK Graff, sitting there watching Duster talk, going to his exhibition, creating that with Phil, with Order. And just seeing him there was just like
huge highlight.
Really was, yeah.
And Dom, what can you say like today's writers could learn from the older generation of writers?
I think it's just I'm out of touch. You know, I don't know what to say really. I mean, I think it's fucking incredible. I mean, for me, I want a piece of train and I can't, and that's something I just have to deal with and live with because I can't do it. I can't do it
because you get nicked. Yeah, exactly. You got too much.
But I'm cursed. I'm tormented by that. But I'm tormented with death as well, and I think, you know, when my brother passed, I think the first time in my life, you know, obviously with the LSD and the drugs back in the day, that might have suffered a few kind of like sort of minor nervous breakdowns and things. Just tripping out and just losing the plot. But later, when I felt dead, when Stuart passed away, I think that was the first time I started getting haunted with suicide and death, giving it all up. And I think I've been tormented with that. I think it's got a bit better. That's why fitness is really important to me, because I remember a girl told me it was about preservation. That reason why there's more male suicides is because we don't really give a shit about what we look like when we're dead. But women do, so they think about it a little bit more. So that's why I preserve myself in preservation, to feel that I'm looking after myself. That's why it's a big deal for me. And suicidal thoughts and things was pretty fucking heavy. I had to deal with some demons with just being a lone twin. It was just something that I didn't foresee coming. So that's why it's a big deal nowadays. People talk about mental health and things. I think it's been going on for a long time, but even more now, because we've just all got to support each other and understand that we're all sensitive and we're all sort of, no one knows what is going on in each person's life, you know. And so be careful and be nice, you know, and everyone's treating everyone, you know, nicely, then they won't feel like, you know, everyone's got to start shitting on each other. And that's why, I mean, I hardly have any money. I've hardly ever had any money, but I just surviving is just so crucial. And that's what keeps you alive. And so with a drink in my hand here, so I've already touched on about alcoholism and things like that, but this is why I keep it all balanced. But yeah, the suicide thing, and when I hear if someone's committed suicide and everything, like in our game, or I just think, shit, upsets me, because I just feel like we're all dealing with these demons. I just got a little bit on top for that person, and sometimes you just got some people are just too busy sometimes to listen to people, and that's why you got to get a hold of it yourself, because sometimes people are just too busy, you know. So you got, like, I love all the crew thing and fraternities, and at the end of the day, you got to have your own fucking backbone, man. You got to stand on your own 2 feet. You know, we partner and everything, but we're a solitude. We're animals, really, creatures. You've got to stand. You cannot depend really on anybody. You've got to depend on yourself. You know, and when you start reaching out, you know, people have got to find it themselves also to help as well. So it's a very thin line, man. So I feel like I'm on top of that now, because like the train and like jumping in front of a fucking train or you know, doing yourself in, we've just been around it, and that's why I do the preservation. I just think, look after yourself, don't slip away if you can. Just be. Your body's a temple, Steve.
Well, Don, listen,
your mind is a temple. All that shit.
This is actually a very, very. It's a really nice way to kind of end this cab chat, because we're ending on a positive note.
Yes.
And anybody watching this, you know, please feel free to reach out to me or Don if you're suffering any kind of mental problems, or, you know, and please try and stay positive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard.
Well, and it's
I mean, we all suffer from this. I suffer bad anxieties and.
Yeah. Anxiety's, you know, the one, man, that creeps in, and all you got to do.
My body hurts from it sometimes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. And it's all to do, guys. It's to do with breathing, right? It's breathe in through your mouth.
Yeah. Let it go.
So all the regulating the breath, and just take time out.
I've started yoga, and I'll tell you, yoga is actually really helping. Yeah.
And that helps. And just, you know, don't worry about love life, things like that. You know, not achieving anything. Just fucking look after yourself. It's not a big deal. Yeah. All of this kind of like, you know, where we are on the rat race.
We've only got one life, Don. We've only got one life, and we've got to make the most of it and
preservation.
Be good people. Do you know what I mean?
It comes down to how you're busting that tag, then so be it. And that's your preservation, man. That's just gonna make you live, you know. But and Steve, thank you, buddy.
Don, what can I
beautiful.
say? It's been absolutely incredible talking to you. And it's been a long time in the coming. And anybody watching this, please don't go anywhere, because we're going to be running some of Don's work at the end of this cab chat. At the end of this interview, we're going to be doing like a slideshow of Don's work. So you're going to be pretty blown away.
Here we go. Look.
You got a few bits.
How I survive is I rip off other people's art. There's a clip there. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And then here we go, some Graff.
Look at that.
You don't have to go big.
That's incredible.
Let's do micro pieces. There you go, there's a whole car top to bottom, man, inside the cab.
That's beautiful, Don.
I'm doing inside. You got that, Steve? Is that in frame?
Yeah, it's in focus, yeah.
Whoa.
I'm going to take a picture of that as well and get it up.
Okay, my man.
But listen, before we actually go anywhere, let's do a quick little shout out to people, yeah? Because obviously, I think the first person we need to give a shout out to is your brother Stuart.
Yeah, Stuart, and yeah, Fire Stars, you know, he's, thank you, man. Steve, thank you, dude. Yeah, but he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And he helped me grow, because him not being here, I've had to stand on my own 2 feet. So like I said, I'm 15 fucking years old now, because when he passed, I died. Because I just had to start again and appreciate people that are born, you know, say by themselves, but I always had this go-between, you know?
Yeah, now listen, you'd be absolutely proud of you.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely proud of you. But listen, Don, we're going to get you back to the station now.
Thank you.
My governor.
Hearing you loud and clear, peace out, and I can just gotta say, keep doing this, man.
I ain't stopping for no one.
Over and out!
Yes!
Yo, man, this place is bomb. This is the transit system. They don't like it to be defaced, and they will at times try and go to the extreme and try and apprehend you. The subway system is a very old one, and I've personally explored some tunnels, and I've found rooms where maps that were so old it might have been like the first train line that New York City had. Call it what you want. Just a lot of rock, a lot of steel. Tomb, dungeon, under the city. A lot of trains, a lot of fun, a lot of art. Art that's going to be a part of New York City's history forever. Oh, wow, check it out, a whole bar, man. Yo, what? Check it out, man. Yo, look at that. Yo, big. A lot of riders have been down here, you can tell. Graffiti all over the place. Oh, it's here. Check it out. Years ago. And this place is long. And this place is long. And down here, you can tell. Graffiti all over the place. Oh, it's here. Check it out. Years ago.